India, country that occupies the greater part of South Asia. Its capital is New Delhi, built in the 20th century just south of the historic hub of Old Delhi to serve as India's administrative center. Its government is a constitutional republic that represents a highly diverse population consisting of thousands of ethnic groups and likely hundreds of languages. With roughly 1/6 of the world's total population, India is the second most populous country, after China. It is known from archaeological evidence that a highly sophisticated urbanized culture, the Indus civilization, dominated the northwestern part of the subcontinent from about 2600 to 2000 BCE. From that period on, India functioned as a virtually self-contained political and cultural arena, which gave rise to a distinctive tradition that was associated primarily with Hinduism, the roots of which can largely be traced to the Indus civilization. Other religions, notably Buddhism and Jainism, originated in India, though their presence there is now quite small, and throughout the centuries residents of the subcontinent developed a rich intellectual life in such fields as mathematics, astronomy, architecture, literature, music, and the fine arts. The land of India, together with Bangladesh and most of Pakistan, forms a well-defined subcontinent, set off from the rest of Asia by the imposing northern mountain rampart of the Himalayas and by adjoining mountain ranges to the west and east. In area, India ranks as the 7th largest country in the world. Much of India's territory lies within a large peninsula, surrounded by the Arabian Sea to the west and the Bay of Bengal to the east. Cape Comorin, the southernmost point of the Indian mainland, marks the dividing line between those two bodies of water. India has two union territories composed entirely of islands, Lakshadweep, in the Arabian Sea, and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which lie between the Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea. The Himalayas of India. The Himalayas, from the Sanskrit words Hima, snow, and Alaya, abode, the loftiest mountain system in the world, form the northern limit of India. That great, geologically young mountain arc is about 1,550 miles, 2,500 kilometers long, stretching from the peak of Nanga Parbat 26,660 feet, 8,126 meters, in the Pakistani-administered portion of the Kashmir region to the Namcha Barwa Peak in the Tibet Autonomous Region of China. Between those extremes the mountains fall across India, southern Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan. The width of the system varies between 125 and 250 miles, 200 and 400 kilometers. The second great structural component of India, the Indo-Gangetic Plain, also called the North Indian Plain, lies between the Himalayas and the Deccan. The plain occupies the Himalayan Forty, formerly a seabed but now filled with river-borne alluvium to depths of up to 6,000 feet, 1,800 meters. The plain stretches from the Pakistani provinces of Sindh and Punjab in the west, where it is watered by the Indus River and its tributaries, eastward to the Brahmaputra River Valley in Assam state. Animal life. India forms an important segment of what is known as the Oriental, or Sino-Indian, biogeographic region, which extends eastward from India to include mainland and much of insular Southeast Asia. Its fauna are numerous and highly diverse. Weather. Although the winds of the rainy season are called the southwest monsoon, they actually follow two generally distinct branches, one initially flowing eastward from the Arabian Sea and the other northward from the Bay of Bengal. The former begins by lashing the west coast of peninsular India and rising over the adjacent Western Ghats. When crossing those mountains, the air cools, thus losing its moisture-bearing capacity, and deposits rain copiously on the windward side of that highland barrier. Annual precipitation in parts of the region exceeds 100 inches, 2,540 millimeters, and is as high as 245 inches, 6,250 millimeters, at Mahabaleshwar on the crest of the Western Ghats. Conversely, as the winds descend on the leeward side of the Western Ghats, the air's moisture-bearing capacity increases and the resultant rain shadow makes for a belt of semi-arid terrain, much of it with less than 25 inches, 635 millimeters, of precipitation per year. A population explosion in India commenced following the Great Influenza epidemic of 1918-19. In subsequent decades there was a steadily accelerating rate of growth up to the census of 1961, after which the rate leveled off though it remained high. The total population in 1921 within the present borders of India, i.e., excluding what is now Pakistan and Bangladesh, was 251 million, and in 1947, at the time of independence, it was about 340 million. India's population doubled between 1947 and the 1981 census, and by the 2001 census it had surpassed 1 billion. The increase between 1991 and 2001 alone, more than 182 million, was greater than the total present-day population of all but the world's most populous countries. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.